some good. This Indian, this everybody knows that Havana Sabri was these things were at that the Kavana Dir Tachtanim is not just to be a Dir, Gidira should not only should be Dir means it should be Gilei Lekusenveld. The Kavana is not just it should be Gilei Lekusenveld, but that the Gilei Lekusenveld should be Mitzad in Yoni of the Tach. Let's say Mitzad in what's the Pashas the Kavana there? So what we can say that there should be the Eibush wants should be a Tachtan, and the Hagdar the Tachtan is the Alter says in Tanya that he's the Tachlis is a hell and the Hester from Elokus. There's no Hergish Eliki in the Tachlis at all. There's no Shachas Elokus. Inside this gather, there's no Shachas Elokus. But the fact that it would be as Galus Elokus in the Welt would be inside the Keach Kol Yachol, the Eibush. The Eibush is a Kol Yachol. If the Eibush wants, he can arrange stone, the Dugan Ev Shahad, and the person that has a Gedank, a Svara. Give Mazbel a Seichel, a Rav, give Mazbel Seichel to someone else, which has a Meach, which has a Keli to understand, give Mazbel a Seichel. But a diamond, to a stone, which doesn't have any Kelim, can übergeben a Gedank, a Dvar Seichel. A Daimon, he has no Kelim, for Tfisa. The Eibush is Derech said, the Yesh HaGashmi is there has no Aluli, there's no Achsharim inside the Yesh itself that he should have a... So it's like Gilui L'kus in the Welt, there's no Me'ezan L'kus in them. The Tachtim said his Geddes, the Gamer Be'en Arech. But the Eibush is a Kol Yochel, can arrange stones from Me'ezan L'kus, even in a thing which Mitzad Atzma is Takano Shechus L'kus. Be Mitzad Amshachim Ma'aylam, Mitzad the fact that the Eibush is a Kol Yochel, can arrange Hakan L'kus, even in a Yesh, even in a Nibra, which said his Ged, which said his Indian, is not a Keli at all. The Kavanah is Nishan. The Kavanah Dir is that the Dir should, the fact that should be Gilui L'kus and Vel should be Mitzadin Yoni of the Tachtim. That means that the fact that La'asid Lavi, the world's going to be a world where L'kus and is Galus and Vel, that's going to be Kaviyachol, not Kaviyachol, as if it's characteristic Kaviyachol to the Tachtim that L'kus is made in. And one of the Nikud that brings this in the Pasuk V'nigel Kved Hashem, that what's the sub Rocha Basar the Gabi V'nigel Kved Hashem. If V'nigel Kved Havaya, since it's not Kved Havaya, is the Hechs the Dargis of Elokus. So V'nigel Kved Havaya, V'nigel is without an Agbos, which was Angel is Galus. So if the Basar is Etisnish, so that's Agbol in the extent of the V'nigel. If there's a limit in what type of Eifin you're able to be Tevis Elokus, Dafke if you're not a Basar, if you're Edel, if you're more Bavshat, more Bedakas, then you're able to be Master Elokus. So then it's not a midas in the V'nigla. There's a limit in his galus of Elikus. So if V'nigla is already kaila, there's going to be a unlimited eifel of his galus of Elikus. That in any form of way of Gilui, Elikus can be his galus in that eifel. So any form, any eifel Gilui is going to be nichel V'nigla Kved Hashem. That means also that even Basim Kenan said, even Basim able to margish Elikus. So Basim that Kuvit Hamedem that V'roch Basim. Part of the Roch Basim is just that Titzah. Lach V'nigla Kved Hashem. But that's already Titzah. If you in the Chalim, if the V'nigla Kved Hashem, then should be was absolutely. So the Urta Bracha was a different part in Ganzen. It could be that to be his Gasel Kus and Talp and Eifel that's going to be Mitzad Lamayla. Because the Eibishter is Kol Yachol, can Meir Zayn, his Gilui is going to be an Eifel. Even something which is not a Keli Tiv, it's going to be Meir anyway. If them like Mitzvah Baruch Basar, that's going to be, it doesn't say Mitzad V'nigel Kved. Baruch Basar, that means what's the same way the Basar today, the nature, the fact that the Basar sees the Davar Gashmi, that's Mitzad the Tchunis and the Teva, the Basar itself. That's natural to the mitzvah. So there's a lot of love. It's going to be natural to the nibra. The fact that it's going to be Gilui L'kus of the nibra. That's going to be its natural state. That's going to be the inyani of the basar. Now in this Indian, there's I'm going to focus more on this prat. Different get read, but on this prat of what the Rebbe speaks in Shmini Chelik Zayin and in the Beikim B'Sicha and in the Maimar Rav Chafekes. There's an additional chiddush in this. There's kama prat in this Sicha which is not in the regular beer. Of what's the word that did it, that the Gilui L'kus means at Inyani the Tachtim. So you have a mashal just to bring out the chiddush of this, the first prat, which is a mechudesh in this word. The first thing is that usually, the regular beer that's in the Chelik Test that brings this. What's the when you say below that the Gilui L'kus means at Inyani of the Basar? So the word is that Amitis Amitzias of the Yesh is that he's really there's a certain Indian Eliki in the Yesh. That's usually the beer. That's the Rebbe's Mazur Basar Lagan Tashni Yiralev. That the fact that the Nivra has the Hergish Amitzisim Atzmosef, so B'chitzeli is in Lav Yeshes, then he only senses himself, and he's independent, he's the beginning of everything. And the truth is that this independence that the Nivra has is really Mushish and Atzmos. So that's inside the Inyani. If Lo Aslav is that the Skalav and in the Yesh, that it will be a Dirul Atzmos, it will be a Dirul Atzmos, because you make out that what's the Amidas Amitzisim of the Yesh? Amidas Amitzisim of the Yesh is is the Metzias Atzmus. So you're not imposing something externally that has no shaykhs and Mekech HaKol Yochel, that just smears on them. You bring Megala that B'amidas Advarim, this yesh is really connected to the Eibishter. So that's one eifin of and that's this Rebbe B'Yorim, how it's explained in Chassidus, that the truth is that the fact that the emes of Elokus is not just the Mitzat L'mayla, that's really the true definition, that's really the true Metzias of the yesh itself. This is not the beer that the Rebbe brings over here. What's the Chisar in Kavi Yochel on that beer? This whole thing of Mitzad Inyani the Tachton is a little bit of a shverk. Mitzad Echad, the Kavanah is Dire B'Tachtein. Dire B'Tachtein means that the Dire is all Zanki the Elokus in that world, which is a yesh, which is a Tachton. A Tachton means that he's totally detached Kavi from Elokus. If there's a link, if you're connecting the yesh somehow to Elokus, he's not a full-fledged Tachton. The Kavanah is Dire in a Tachton, which is the Atharis in Tanya. She'ein Tachton Matam Edavin has the areas, but Chesha Kofel Mechupla, a Tachton which is there is no attachment to Elokus, a totally detached. In the Atharis says Tachton she'ein Tachton Matam Edavin. The word is that there's no limit to how far the Tachton is from Elokus. Why is there no limit? Maybe there's a lower Tachton. The Pashat Dvarim is because the Tachton has zero. There's zero connection to Elokus. Whatever you can imagine, the ultimate extent of being detached from something, so that Yahweh Elam has is the ultimate detachment from Elokus. All the beauty that says on Chassidus that really the fact that the yesh is a yesh and the hegesh Mitzusim Atzmus is because he's Moshe and Atzmus, and Atzmus is Mitzusim Atzmus. So we're finding an attachment between the yesh. You're saying the yesh is not. It looks like there's no connection at all to Amagat. Is Magish alone? There's no bittul at all in it. There's no connection to Elokus. But the emes is the Megala. You Megala that the truth is that this tchuna of Mitzusim Atzmus is really Moshe and Atzmus. So at the end of the day, that's the third shtickle problem. We say this word that this means Hadinyani the Tachtin. So what does it mean Hadinyani the Tachtin? It has to be that self-called stuff. You're going to be megala that the truth of the yesh is a lukus. If the truth of the yesh is a lukus, he's not legamri a Tachtin. He's not legamri be'en. He's not legamri be'en legamri meruchik kaviyach from a lukus. He's not legamri vayt from a lukus. He's not legamri behester areas. But self-called stuff gets used to. It's a shaykas between the nivra and the so dir b'tachtin and sadinari tachtin is the chor is attached to the sasri. So there's ways to explain, even according to the other beer, we come with the smazmas. The way the Rebbe explains it here, you have the ultimate in both of these nekudas. The ultimate nekuda. First of all, you have the nekuda that even after the Rebbe says Inyani the Tachton, it doesn't take away at all from the Tachtanius, from the Richuk of the Tachton from Lukus, Mitzad Echad. Mitzad Sheni from the Gedra Tachton. Mitzad Sheni, the Mitzad Inyani is much stronger than it's explained in other places. Both. So the first point. So the first is that according to the regular beer, the Tachton, at the end of the day, comes out Tachton is not really a full-fledged Tachton because we found the connection between the Tachton and the belly. So that's the way it's usually explained. Secondly, the Rebbe's Masber, what's the Nekodas beer over here? Why is it that it seems to, that it's Gmim Tzadinyani the Tachton? Because even though the Nibra is a Yesh Tak, the Metzias Elam has is a Helam She'im, there's Elam Lashon Helam is Geder, is that he's Milo Master and Lokos, he's Metzias B'fnei Atzmei. But how it became, what's the Kavanah why this Nibra was created? What's the Matara? Why was he created? With the Matara, was all Ibirmach. The Eibush didn't make the Yesh in order they should stay the Yesh. The intention why the Eibush made the Yesh was for the sake of Mizal Ibirmach, you should transform the Yesh, and it should be a Keli to Lokos. And it's all Ben is Galaber Lokos. So when you say the word Kavanah, we're not saying that. We're not tracing back the Yeshes of the Yesh, and we're saying there's P'sa'in Pnimi, there's P'sa'in Aliki in the Helam Behester of the Yesh. The Helam Behester is the Zal Behelam Behester doing Fashtid business. The Helam Behester is Tam Aglat, the Helam Behester is not Argish Lukus, he has no Shekes to Lukus at all. We're saying that its intention, the intention why the Yeshish created this Yesh is, the Chdeim is on a Mamshas and Gila Lukus. Should be Mera Lukus in the Yesh. So that's the Kavanah. The Kavanah doesn't change the character of the Hester. The Hester stays a Pashta Hester. So when you say this beer of Kavanah, we're not linking the Hester. The Helam Hester says the Helam Betachlis. He's a Tachlis Shidach Lamati Imenu. But we're saying different word. Why is it that the Gilui Lukus is going to be Mitzad Inyani of the Tachlis? Because the Kavanah, why the Eibush created it, its intention is for the sake of even Machanega and to Mahabach there should be a Keli to Lukus. So we're using the word Kavanah. The word Kavanah gives us a big Ravach in this Indian that it doesn't take away the nature of the Helam Hester. The nature of the Helam Hester stays the Helam Hester without. So the Yesh, what is the Yesh? The Yesh is, what is Eilam? Eilam Lashon Helam Hester. But the Kavanah, why there's an Eilam, is B'shul Gilui. So then, Rebbe's Masber, that's your Pasha, the Dvarim, and Ibrahim, Kavanah, the intention why you make something has nothing to do with what the thing is. You make a table. The reason why you make the table, that's the reason why you make the table. That's not the true definition of what the table is. That's the purpose of it. Without Pasha said about the purpose of why something is made is not a part of what the thing is. There's what the thing is, what the ingredients that it's built of, and then why the thing is made. What's its function? What's its purpose? So the purpose is the person makes a machine for the purpose of it should make papers. So there's what is the thing? The thing is chveis, metal, whatever the thing is. Then there's the purpose of why the thing is made. The why doesn't redefine what the thing is. Here the Rebbe is saying different. The kavanah is not stam as the nivra as a yesh. The Rebbe made it with the intention is al mer a zach was very geschaffen mitzad luk mitzad lamayla. So the kavanah is the true definition of what the thing is. Definition is the wrong word, but it's the true reality of what the thing is. That's a separate lump. What's the kavanah that since the nivra is having mitzad the kavanah itself, therefore the kavanah is not just stam as its purpose, but the purpose of the nivra, that's the midas hametzius of the nivra. I'm not going into. I just want to bring up this part. Even after we say that the kavanah is the midas hametzius of the nivra, and therefore, since the kavanah, why the Rebbe created the yesh? The kavanah is b'chdei that it should be gilui l'kusim vel, and the kavanah is taken the midas hametzius of the nivra. But it just doesn't take away from the fact that what is the helen v'hester? The helen v'hester is a tachton manish. The purpose, tzligvas is for under the helen v'hester. B'chdei is on b'yirmach. So what's the agdar of the yesh? It's a helen b'chdei tzibirmach. That's the mitzvah of yesh. It's not some helen v'hester. It's a helen b'chdei tzibirmach. But even if you say it's a helen b'chdei tzibirmach and tzigilui, the helen stays a helen b'tachas. That's what the charizm. This you have the rebbe of this word. According to the other beer mechsidus, you have the Rebbe brings in Basalagani Maral. The Rebbe brings over here. They have a beer that in Basalagani. What's the beer that the tachton is a dir? Doesn't say this word in Sadinyani, but it's one of the that weirds in Bisbata the Yechelis Ha'atzmus. The fact that the Eish has the midas agvura vasixu, which is just the lakus. That's the gal in the hell of Esther. The fact that there's Hamgur Nasab Velt, which is the tachlis hell of Esther lakus. So that expresses the midas the kayach hatzimtzum was found in atzmus. So then we're being mikasha the helam tag with helikus, but we're saying that this helam yithar was tamazay helam, tamazay nibur, which is detached and doesn't sense the Yibishter. The truth is that there's an in primi this helam. It brings out the midas agvura of helikus. The helm shnish gepash the helm, shnish gepash the tachon. When I say the word mitzad, mitzad is the Rebbe's ma'ilech that the kavanah that's the midas mitzvah of the nibur. It's talking about Sadinyani, but leidach it doesn't diminish from the extent of the helam of That's the aim word, in Rebbe was dafaran, even though it is not Ezgetash, but that's the chura one word that comes out in this aim uftu in their word, but die steht in the Sech and the Maimon. This word kavanah b'shvil. The Elf versteht der word. But over as I move on.
You think the kavanah changes?
The kavanah doesn't change the definition of the heaven. The kavanah is not. We never say the kavanah is the midas and tzias of the Rebbe. It's not its ingredient, but. When you say that the mitzvah matzvus of the yesh is mushish and atzvus, so now you're tuma. We thought that's not it's a sabalgai of the yesh mitzvah matzvus. The truth is, in this mitzvah matzvus, this tchun of mitzvah matzvus is connected to something deeper. It's connected to atzvus. So it's not stam as of ein tachon lachli. This tchun is linked somehow to the Eibush. When I say b'shvil gilui, the musik of Helen, we didn't redefine the musik of Helen. The Pasha think of Musik of Helen. Musik of Helen is Helen Esther. Exactly the way the Musik of Helen Esther is Elikus is Shmir. Stamazay Helen Esther. We don't redefine the attachment. We're not finding an Einik in Helen Esther. We're not saying the Helen Esther is Nishta. See, Pasha Bidu means Stamazay that the neighbor is detached. But Etzem, it's linked to something deeper. The Helen is Stamazay Helen Esther. It's for the purpose of Gilui. And the Agdar of Eilam is not Stam Eilam. It's Eilam B'Shvil Gilui. It's Eilam B'Shvil Gavas Elikus. It's a rule for the sake of the Rebbe Tachlein. So it's true it's a rule for the sake of the Rebbe Tachlein. But it's a rule for the sake of the Rebbe Tachlein. So the Taich of the word Eilam and Ishishtani Gavar. It's a Helen B'Tachlis. But what's in Yoni, usually you say, when I'm saying usually when you create a machine, this is the Pel of Kavanah, but that's, when you create a machine, you're saying, I'm making a table for the sake of learning. So the Matarat Livasa Mahta is that's the hemshach for the thing. I'm making this for this sake. So it's the thing that I make is going to be massive for its sake. Here, the Eibush made something which is Heipech Legamri from its purpose. Heipech Legamri. The Eibush made Helem B'Shvil Gilui. Gilui and Helem is to Afach Mamish. The Eibush made a Yesh, which in Yoni is Helem B'Hesed on Elukus. That's his Meirich. That's the basic mitzvah. That's the Etz mitzvah Yesh. What's the Agdar of Elam Hazeh? A world which is detached from its creator. That's the Agdar of Elam Hazeh. In Yoni is Helem B'Hesed on Elukus. Why did they make it? To be mahapech teseh and make an ayin and make it should be Gilui in this world. So the mataretz levasim b'shavter veld is totally opposite from what the world is, and it stays always opposite what the world is. What is the world of yesh? For the purpose of Gilui. By the Eibush, if whatever its purpose is, that's the true mitzvah is the purpose. Its true reality is the purpose. That's not about that. Doesn't change the fact that it's a helen.
How is its purpose fluid?
That's the kavanah. The fact that the Eibush comes. Was macht der Yesh? Namas is soldat der Yesh. Was der Eibush created the Eibush? Am soll Silberman.
The real Israel.
The Rav was soll Silberman. So that's the purpose why it was made. But what was made? Ayeshtaka. The ufta l'mayla is that since the mitzias comes mitzad the kavana, so the kavana is not stam if it's a zayt gezach or an external thing. The kavana is the mitzvah mitzias of the thing. But even la'after we're going to say that kavana is the mitzvah mitzias of the thing. The taich of the word helen stay the helen bepashtus. So the tachtin bleibt the tachtin mamish, which is the gamri minutik. And aval beken is mitzad in yomi is a zanki delukas involved.
You write the finding in him.
We're not finding in the yeshes any shaykhs of the yesh is a yesh.
His matar.
So his matar is not what it is, but the matar is not. I'm saying there's the ingredients, what the table is made out of, and then there's why it's made, its function, its purpose. Its purpose is not a part of the what. It's not a part of the it what the thing is.
You're looking at him and you're finding it. So it's not.
We're finding a purpose, not what the thing is. The ufta l'mayla is that the purpose of the purpose, the kavanah, that's the midas amtzias of the inyan. That's the true reality of the inyan. But we're not saying. But the musik of Helam is still there. The musik of Helam, it's a whole different type of beer than we say the other beer Muslims. We're not saying that the table, the way we see the table, that's the table is going to that's the musik of the table is Helam v'Eshter. But that is Ibermach, and it was made. The Chdem is also Ibermach. Despite the Bernish, but the Tach Helam is. We're not finding any aimek in the musik of Helam. Musik of Helam says the Pashka musik of Helam. B'shvil Agil, it's another word. The Maila the Bishvil is the Midas Amtzias of Inyan. That's what it means to Shaftim. What's the Pshat of the Midas Amtzias? The Hezber of what's the Pshat of the Midas Amtzias of Azar is when Azar was very Lamaila. So the Midas Amtzias is the Kavanah and not what it is. By a Nibra, the Midas Amtzias of something is what it is, the ingredients that it's made out of. Why you make it is a Zaytik Azar. The Maila is Fakir. The Midas Amtzias of the thing is its Kavanah. What it is, that's an external factor. That's not the true definition of what the thing is. That's Tzurich Hitzenis. But the Tzurich Hitzenis is not changing. So that is thing shifting. What's the Pshat of the Maila, the Kavanah, that's the Midas Amtzias of the But that's the aim word. That's number one. That's the aim Zach. A zweite Zach, that's the Hemshech for this word, the Elam Nut Pesachah, you need to play this in one line. But you like the God's Kuntus, yeah? No? You just got it. So you know what I'm talking about? Huh? Beis Chred. You learned it, yeah? No? I understand why it's only going to be here. Okay, you should get it. Mission yet. I say the Gemara was for it. Okay, good. Well, so just one word. The letter says over here, where is it? It's okay. Just look at the tape. It's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a press. It's a press. Just look at the giving us a press. This is also the Maimer very much about Dosha. The Maimer this is word itself. The Rebbe adds here another word was given on Nachat Nation. It says like this. The Tamas Maimer is Mechol Shnuch Azam Shav Mesmach Iber Den Muhus from Welt. The Tapas Abiyah from Welt is V'Shalatei V'Shul Yisrael. That's the purpose. What's the purpose of its creation? So why is it V'Shalatei V'Shul Yisrael? As in the Octane Mitzvahs on Uftan Gilul Kusin Welt, which that's Taka change. That's we're Uftan Achidish Welt. That should be Gilul Kus. So since this is the Tapas Abiyah, kommt eis as the Gilul Kus is wird nimmt in Welt of Yisrael und Teil. Es nicht wie ihnen was kommt aus der Neusel. Zirmitzis. Fana Welt, and then we're Smash Gilul Kus on Leila, but it's not a Mitzvah Mitzvah Welt. It's nicht that. Why not? For the Baba Dos, the Gilul Kus Adi Yisrael Vateil is the Kavanah Tapas from the Welt Gufa. That's the purpose of why the world was created. We're not saying Welt as dos is the Welt. This is the Kavanah and Tapas from the Welt Gufa. Heißt es, dass der Elum Gufa der Primiusse man soll durchführen sein Tapas. The Gilul Kus in Endo. It's a yesh factor. But what's durch der yesh? We're saying that the Kavanah, the fact that the Gilul Kus in Welt should be with the Nivra of the Tapas. Very month that there should be Gilul Kus. The Nivra himself says that I'm a yesh factor, but what's my whole purpose? What's my union? Is by Mimir and Gilul Kus. So Eralin month is like that Gilul Kus. The yesh is not a keli telakus. That has to be through aved of yid. According to the beer, the way they're bringing it here, the yesh is can keli telakus. Let's say you have a stone, which is a stone. He has no chushin for seichel, has no kelim for seichel. But the purpose of why the stone exists is in order for it to have a hundred asagas of sukkis. To have seichel asagas. It can be a chiddush nifla to be mamshech gilui lukus in this stone, but it's going to be mitzat nyani the tachta. The Rebbe, I'm saying from the way the word is here. The word is not the tachta v'etzem zakeh. We need the other inyanim also. I'm just saying the way the Rebbe is bringing it out here. The yesh tak is bein arech legamri tolukus. He's telling best. It's the vazis of Faran. What's the purpose why it was created? Was in order to be gilui lukus developed. If that's the purpose, so they're tachta nalim manos, because that's zayin. That's his matot. So according to this beer, the tachta like the tachta. We need other beer also. I'm just saying this according to this beer. Now the fiz zeh, this is hezes the chazer elam guf month. Why? Because that's the tachlis. That's the tachlis. The hesber why kavana is the primius hadavar. What are you going to say? That's the Eivish's intention. What does that have to do with the veld? The Rebbe is not to us. That's just tachlis. So the veld alim. The Rebbe is not mavayir in this sikha the beer. Why the kavana and tachlis makes it that's the primius hadavar. That's the zachma. That's the hesber is in shayftim chelik kites. The Rebbe is mazbid davar. Here the Rebbe just says that's me. Good. But here the Rebbe has another prat. This is another addition. It says, Basalin is a manish master. This is not enough. This beer alone is not enough. Why? From Bibaldas, they get it from Eilam. It's from Lashon Helam Canal. Since the gather of Eilam is that he's a Helam version of Lakos, Eilam Lashon Helam, as Mitzada Bria is Etzem Mitzias Azad. Was in ihr ist nicht nirgash Tachlis, was darf nicht durchgeführt werden. Nur Adar Mitzad Brioses in Yona Helam, kommt doch es, in der Gerd zu dem Mitzias und Ihnen von Eilam Gufe ist, der am Shabbos Lakush Adem ist, wie er zugegangen ist. Was soll das denn hier? What's the kasha? It's not enough. Even though we're explaining that the kavanah of the veld is and if that's the kavanah, that's the midas amtzis, because there was not shaved because the veld is kavanah from the kavanah. Mitzad the kavanah of dinner with the from them you kavanah the veld. The veld didn't happen. The veld came mitzad the kavanah. By nivroim the mitzis comes mitzad the keichamaisa, and the kavanah so adam is in the seichel. But when I make something. The thing was made. I wrote something with the Keich was the one that created the Ksav. The reason why I made it, that's in the Seichel. And the Seichel takat from them is gevarn to Zach. Mashegel Amayla, the Mitzi is vet mitzad the Kavan. I thought you learned the Seichel. Go stay there. But I go upon him. So according to this beer, we understand very good that when there's going to be is Gal Salkus Las Living, there's going to be something Yoni in the Tachta. Because the Tachlis is Vishal Shlot and Vishal Yisrael. So what's Nishmas? What's the asking here? Everything he said here was already brought earlier. It says Bibal together for Lashon Helim. This is ever brought in the beginning of the Sikha, in the beginning of Siva. The Master Shad Agnes and something on the Tacht and L'chor Eilim Lashon Helim. And the Rebbe explains because that's the Kavanah. So what's the Naya Shad? Does it Bibal does together for Lashon Helim and Sada Briz? What's the Shverika here? So this is another Kneish that's also a Chiddush Dover. So usually you see it's at the Yoni of the Tacht. The Lashon, if you look in the I think Chelik Tes is the first time that this means in this word that the Kavanah of the Chayim is at the Nyan of the Tachtim. So the Rebbe says there, I think in the frame of the Sikha, what's it? You have it again. Chelik Tes, it's Chana, it's Mishtabla. Good, so she get it. I go on, but the Rebbe says there that it's not that Amidas and Tzis of the Yesh. Now that has to say it. I'm just taking 1 second. Shabbos Nachman. Shabbos Nachman. Yes. He said, it says here. Okay, here's nothing. Not is Gitash Sabinan, but then it says that's about brings that Kedusha was given. He says the Kedusha was given in Mishkan was the Sabamayel. Nicht mit Zad Dvar Gashmi. Shegen the Kedusha, the Beis Hamikdash is given mit Zad Dvar Gashmi in Gufa. I'm looking for a solution there. I don't see it there. Oh, all right. The Zichur kommt nicht durch ein Erbes, ist in sehr mehr Meile, nur mit Atzma. Nur mit Atzma. Is there mit Inyon in the Tag? Mit Atzma. That the fact that the nibble is going to be to Lukas is not because of an erb which is normal. Mit Atzma. Mit Them was Zeir and Midas Amtzis is Lukas. Since there Midas Amtzis is Lukas, there is a soft or soft Zdachich business below called Basar. Nicht mit der Gilly from Bechinas Pia Vai, nur mit der Basar Guf. Here there says about the Basar Guf. This is the sugi about the local bus. Ich meine, das der erste Mal steht der Wort. Und du kannst sicher this word. Das ist der Zichur kommt nicht durch ein Erbes, kommt nur Meiler mit der Tachten. What's the pshat that comes inside the Tachten? Because mitzad them was zeir amid the samtzis. What's the true mitzis of the yesh is Elokus. And since that's his truth, even though it's not nikah b'chitzenik, that's his amid the samtzis. So sof kol sof, v'ro kol basar, ma mitzad, yavai na mitzad the basar. So you say the word is amid the samtzis. So the word is, there is the nivra, the way the nivra senses itself, or the way the nivra looks externally b'chitzenis. And that tak is a halav on how to shach to Elokus. The pnimius hanivra is that he's connected to the Eibishter. That's enough of a beer to say mitzad inyon. But the Rebbe brings over here when you get about tshuva. The mile of tshuva is that even though he was why is it that a person that is indicted as gevar vayik and Abba became says erev tshuva? So l'chora you can't say because the Lukus was a serious l'mayla because he's in the state of pikaseh. He's attached to Lukus. So vanish can't be serious tshuva because the yidid pnimius is connected to the Eibishter. Since that midas hamtzis of the yid is to be irregem to Lukus, so wherever a yid's going to be, his pnimius is going to come out. So tshuva is begal that a yid's midas hamtzis is Lukus. So you see, so according to this comes out. What's in order to say the word the Rebbe says it's enough to say that the true definition of the basar is that it's a keli telakus, but it's not as chitzenis. So the Rebbe is saying over here additional word. According to the first beer, the tachlis kavana is since the nivr's tachlis kavana is dirib tachleinim. So the mitas amtzis of the yesh is to be a keli telakus. I the nivra veisnish davon. I the nivra is mailam on his mitzis. But even though that's not the truth. The truth is that what's his mitzvah b'shul ater b'shul yisrael. But the Rebbe is negay over here that it should be mitzad inyonei the tacht, not only mitzad inyonei that it's mitzad the midas amtzis the tacht is getting to Lukus. Even mitzad the tacht and the way he senses himself, which is not masim alemes. The way the nivra is margish himself is not masim alemes. The emes says that the whole mitzvah and nivra was b'shul ater b'shul yisrael. But velt alein vesish davon. The world is not margish that. So you can say even though the world is not margish, it's not a stira that did is mitzad inyonei. Because the world is lying. The world is lying to what it is. Before, if you say that the nivra has no shaykhs to Lukus b'chalal is a yesh, so then it's not mitzad inyonei. But the minute you say that the truth is that the nivra, the Eibishter created all the shalatim b'shul yisrael. So then, what's the truth? The truth is that the yesh is a yesh. The truth is that inyonei is to be a dir. The truth is that mitzad gedera briya, the gedera yesh is to be a dir to the keli Lukus. Even though that's the truth, but the nivra's experience, the nivra doesn't feel the way according to his truth. The nivra's his heritage is not massive lamitzis. So in order to say mitzad inyoni, it also has to be mitzad the external way the nivra experiences itself, or it has to be mitzad inyoni in the truth sense of the nivra. But the way it is in other places of Siddur, it's enough that amidas amtzis of the yesh is a lukus. If that's its emes, so it's mitzad inyoni. The deriv the mitzad inyoni. Why? Because the amidas amtzis of the yesh is a lukus. I the nivra. He's not married to himself that way. The fact that Bechitzeni is Zetzach Zayin Emes is not a stira that it's inside the Inyan. Because that's true. You have someone that's in a Yid get to Rumah from gas. The truth is he has a neshama. He doesn't know about it, and he doesn't feel it, and he feels that he's tam as a when he's even says mashpia from this chazer so we are darker sein so inside the Inyan because that's his amidas amtzis. The man of committed that he doesn't know who he is. Here the Rebbe is saying an additional word. In order to give mitzad inyoni, it's nish genug that it should be mitzad inyoni of the yesh. Mitzad, the true definition of what the yesh is, it should be mitzad this Indian. But mitzad inyoni means that it has to be mitzad the yesh, the way the yesh experiences himself. The way the midas it has to. This is a whole different word. This is a whole different word. We have the nivra the way we see the nivra today. The reality that we see it today in yoni is to be a dir lezer b'tachtein. The reality that we see it today is a halav hester lukus. There's no shaykh to lukus. The truth of this reality is b'shul ater b'shul yisrael. But the nivra doesn't reflect this truth. It's truth, but it doesn't reflect it. The kavanah of the shivim mitzad tachtanish, it should be mitzad the nivra the way he senses himself, the way the nivra is the way he projects, the way he is today. The nivra, the way he projects, the way he is today, in yana is to be a dir b'tachtein. The shenan the word thing answer. It's a whole different type of word. You see, someone's lying to himself. So you need the fact you should be a kid should be mitzad your truth. But what if the agdar of the Ametzias is that he should lie to himself? He's one thing, but he projects something else. He doesn't sense who he is. So in order for the dira to be mitzad inyani, it's negeya that the way he projects himself should be inyani to be a dira, or it's enough that it's masim ala emes. So that's what the Rebbe sagt weiter. The first beer is that the truth, Azeva can give it to the Rebbe Stamazeh Tachten. And then sagt no, the Tachas Gavana, since the Tachas Abri is the Rebbe Tachten. So the Midas Amitzias of the Yesh is to be a Leis Bar. There's that Tach at the Emes of the Yesh. But what's the Agdara of Velt? The Agdara of Velt is Helem. What's that Agdara of Velt is Helem? The Etzim Mitzis of Elam is not Helem and Elokos. Helem on what it is. That's like the Rebbe Tzudah. It says, Elam Hashem Helem means not stamp that it's Mailam and the Ebershter. The Agdar of Elam is, the Bri is, Etzim Tzis HaZav, was in Iris, the Nirgash, the Tachel is not going to do it. Means the Gedder of Bri is that Zayn Eigne Mohus is Zoltan Be'esalmus. The Gedder of the Nivra is, that's its Etzim Tzis. The Gedder of Elam Hazagashmi is that what it is, its premise, shouldn't appear B'chitzenis. That's the Gedder Yesh. That's like its premise, but the Agdar of Elam Hazah is that its premise should not be Meir B'chitzenis. And in order for the Dira Tebet Tachtana to be Mitzad Inyani, we make Mitzad Inyani of the Yesh the way we experience it today. Not Mitzad Inyani of the Amitas HaYesh. Mitzad Inyani of this world, of Elam. What's the Agdara of Elam? That its external appearance is not Masim Susan communities. And the Kavanah is that this extra show should be Elamis.
And what's the avoid of Dira Tachtana to stay a Yesh?
No. So here the Rebbe is saying a whole different verse. That's according to the Rebbe, this verse comes a very Kiddush, but the Rebbe's Madish in this Sikha, that the fact that Inyani Vadas V'Dirim Tachtenim has to be reflected in the world the way it is today. Under the Pletzner I'm saying with everybody Chilik Tes or other sort of things, what's the Bilas I was saying before the Mashal in Basalagan? So today the Nivri is in Tzusim Atzmusi, how is married to his own Mitzvahs. The Mitzvah in Tzusim Atzmusi is that it's Moshe Shanatzmus. So also will be Megala, this is Mele Tzmidir Tachtenim. So it's Mitzad Inyani of the Yesh. Because the Inyani of Yesh is that he's the Mitzvah Atzmus. And the truth of this Inyan is Atzmus. But before Megala, the fact that the Yesh is not the Mitzvah Atzmus, the Musig of Mitzvah Atzmus is the way we experience it today. It's characteristic for it to be a Psakeli to Atzmus. The Yesh, the way we experience it now, is no Shechus to Atzmus. I mean to say Yesh. Here we're saying that, so usually that's enough. Amitas Mitzvahs of the Yesh is to be a Shechus to Atzmus. Does that mean that the Mitzad Inyani of Welt is Heim, the Mitzvah, the way the world is today, Zayin Inin is Ana Dira Leis Baruch. So that's what the Rebbe is over here to say that the Kavanah Sabriya is reflected in the development of the Welt state time. What's the Rebbe that the Rebbe says? The Rebbe says here is that even though the world Taki Gidra is hell, and Gidra is to be Mailim on its Kavanah, that's its Gedder. Its Gedder is that its external appearance shouldn't reflect its previous. The Rebbe says that the Teva Briya is that Helam is Machayev Gilui. The Eibush created the world in a way. That's a nature today. That's a natural phenomenon. The nature is that the Helam of something is Machayev Gilui. That's the Teva Tchunas of Helam. Helam and Gilui are Hafim Taka. The Teva, the Eibush of B'Shav the Velt is that one of the Chutke Teva is that Helam is Machayev Gilui. The Rebbe brings us to get. What is the big one that Rebbe brings over here? You just listen to this. Shurav al Sazera Shtarke Zach. There means to get Kecham Zeres Nefesh, there means to get Kama Pratim. Just listen to this Lashon. Maybe we'll just first say that somewhere. So what's the way that Rebbe says? The way the Rebbe says here is that the Teva Advarim is that Helam Luftar is Gilui. That's the nature of the way they created the world. You have the famous thing that the Rebbe said by the Tavshlam of Ches. The Rebbe asked the doctor what exactly takes out what's measured the blood? The hole or the hole that the nail makes, or that the needle over there, or the vacuum? The guy told him the vacuum. The Rebbe said that has to do with Tzimtzum Shel Gilui. The part is that the nature of the vacuum, the emptiness, is Meishach that is a very ungefiled. It's two afachim. The Helam, the vacuum of the Indian, the Tava, the Tchunis, the way the Eibush created the world is that the Helam of some, the vacuum of it, demands as ungefiled there. So that's the Tava Abriya, that Helam is Machayev Gilui. So this is the Tava Abriya today. The Yesh taken Yani Helam. Shas lost the Lizana with Nemen the Helam, but the Simon Machas of Aaron Gilui. The fact that since the Tachlis Kavanah of Helam is Mishulai Gilui, that's the Mitzvah of the Yesh. The fact that Yesh can be there with the Chayim, that's masim to the Gedra Elam the way it is today. What are you going to say that the whole world in Yoni is Helam? Yeah, and the Gedra of Helam is to be Machayev Gilui. That's the Gedra of Helam, and that's not. So then it's inside the Yoni of the world the way it is today. The world the way we experience it in Yoni of this world is to be a Dira with the Chayim. The whole part of this sikha is that the fact that the Yoni felt is to be there with Tachtanim is nicht durch Megala sein tifere Sachen. The Megala is a deeper in it. The world, the way it seems to be external, the way we experience it, the world, the way we experience it, reflects the kavanah of the Rebbe Tachtanim and brings out that what's its true function, that it should be a Rebbe Tachtanim. Why? Because what's the yachas of Elkot? Helen v'Hester. And the gather of Elt is that Helen bring Gilui. So this is a whole different type of beer than regular Chassidus. So not the third word. Listen to what the Rebbe says. This is the Rebbe says like this. That's what you see in Siftes. Ja, wir sind mehr Dominion. Das ist bald. Der Idee ist, es soll sich durchführen, die Kavanah Sabriya von dir oder Yisrael Tachtanim, als die Weltgruppe, which is not, but according to Hemshech, the world, the way we experience it, the world, the way it appears to be, be'enei basar, nicht the world, the way Chassidus is master of the world is. The world, the way it is, not the pashtus. This was a very idea of the Meibishn. Ich mitzat Teva, und Teva kepschutte. Hat der Eibishter bashafen die Welt an Azaif, the Eibish created the world today in such a way, as in ears, as sich abspiegeln in der Kavanah und Tachlis. That the world, the way it is now, should reflect its purpose. Und der Yesh ist die Kavanah, bis die Welt bashafen geworden ist, in der von Helen Beis, ist wirklich, als der Punkt, wo es kommen, der Gilui, it should be Helen, der Fall ist, die Welt eingestellt geworden, eben gesagt, als darf der Helen soll reis rufen, und seine Keli zu hechern. So now the third part ganz. So here, this part is there, so there brings in Kama Pratim, Saibin to get, that Helim has, Saibin to get, Kecham Siris Nefesh, that Dafke, when there's, Dafke is on a goal, it's Kecham Siris Nefesh, the Chodesh Bifakert. Where there's more of a second Lukus, you appreciate more Lukus, there should have been more in the Kudah Bidol to Lukus. Mashiach, where there's less Gilei Lukus, there should have been Fakert. So it's nicht das. Dafke Helim, there, Montel is Gilei. When they get to Nefesh, darkly where there's less Gilei Nefesh, in the regel, which is less Gilei Nefesh, Gilei Chayes than Meir Shabaresh, Dafke the regel has a deeper keshet to the Primus Nefesh more than the Meir Shabaresh. That's a Teva Abriya. The regel and Reish, we're dealing with the Primus of If a person wants to put his foot in hot water, we're not dealing with none from the Lukus over here. If a person wants to put his foot in hot water, it's easier to put your foot in a dangerous place than to put your head in a dangerous place in hot water. Because the foot is deeper, Iber given to the Ratzon and Nefesh more than the Meir. Dafke because it's further from the nefesh. It's the if the herzach is dark in the nefesh, it's the furthest from it, there's the least Gilui nafshim in the foot. Because of that, it's deeper connected to the primus nefesh. And the Ratna nefesh resonates more with the regel more than the Meir Shabaresh. So you see that the Teva Abriya is the helmet Mechayv Gilui. That's an understood word.
What's that word? There said it's not because the Helen.
Good, that's not Chayim. That's not the code of the Sikh. I'm saying that's not Chayim. But that's nicht negated to their part alone. That's a
that's the flavor of this Helen. That's that key.
Good. But what's the beer? We're saying in the Pnim. We don't need a beer white. If that's the nature of the world, so then the world. What's your time? The nature of the world is that Helen brings guilt. That's the natural for as they get it up. That's one of the chuk beer. So it's a chayik. You say. It's Helen Behester. The Teva Tchunis of Helen Behester is it should be Mechayim Gilui. So it's Mitzad Inyonei Guf. Now this bird, not for much name, but the only problem that I have, not problem, only have many problems with just when you get to this bird, it's not age getaish. Just a little oil there. Before that, we're going to get rumble bird when you get to the clean. Is that this Bechor is also connected to the bird. Usually the bird that the Dirish Yumtad in Yoni of the Tachtin, so the Rebbe connects it to the Rebbe connects it, that has to do also with the Midas HaMusay V'Ened Lavadi. The Musay V'Ened Lavadi is that there is nothing else outside of the Lukus. It means that every idea, the truth of that idea is, in Yoni is Ened Lavadi. Because if the Dirish would not be Mitzad in Yoni of the Tachtin, Bli Kaviyachol, was sich schon ist gebracht, dann mit ist, Bli Gvor, der Eibisches Achtus. Or the fact that the Eibishter is Avaya Echad. Because if that's in the gather of, what expresses the Lukus only something that suits the Lukus Kaviyachol. So there's a certain limit in certain types of realities that are Megal Lukus. Mashiach Yesh, something that chveis the tchuna from ego, let's say, or atzei the tchuna, that's not a keli te'ena lovadi. Kumtes that there's a Metzias in Welt which is not Mas in Telakus. So that's Bedakos, not Amidas in Ein Elvad. Ein Elvad is that there's only him. So the Musika, the true idea of Ein Elvad is Machayev, Yed Zach Sefaran. The true definition of that Indian is another way of expressing Ein Elvad. It's not Stamazia Exerzakos, the Kavana is that the Dirishim is Hadinyan de Tachten. The Rebbe connects to the Chilik base that Dafke, which has Mamach the Dirim is Hadinyan de Tachten. So that brings out that Amidas in Elvad. That's the Chilik base. But here, so now that's the word say here and say the Rachafel was the Ismailach and I hate that the word that should be a lokus b'pshitas. That's real lokus b'pshitas last about it. Today the Muslim lokus is b'schachos and the Kavanah should be a lokus b'pshitas. So what's the Muslim of b'schachos and b'shitas? The Pashut the Muslim of b'schachos and b'shitas is a person can know something. Usually you have things that are chiddush. When you say something is a chiddush, it's not moving me'elav. It's not the basic take on the Indian. It's a chiddush davar. It's an einim. It's a chiddush. It's something that's. But even in Yadim, even in Yadim which are sichlim pshutim, 1 + 1 = 2, simple svaras. Seichel is not that there's not a midas Indian of knowing something without pshutis, because seichel is a kayach for a person to become aware of things that are outside of him. And seichel is also noticed in this market tasvara to fakert tasvara. The true musik of pshitas is when you see something. There's different targets in the musik of pshitas the gabe schachos. But the older the pshitas that speaks in the sikha the maimer is instead of a maimer, I think it's a maimer. The Rebbe says what's the midas in of knowing something that of pshitas. You have things. You have things that a person knows, and a mensch can forget namo, or things a mensch can chveis. Someone, certain things that a person can't, they get all people lose their zikaron, so it's behem shoshinisem. But people forget different things. People forget names of the forget something. So there's things that are not mamish one with you. Then you have a person who's never going to forget where his head is. Weeks in the morning, he doesn't know where he put his phone on his bus. He's not going to know where his head is. Huh? That's the truth musik of the Pshita. Someone knows that his head is on top of his shoulders. He has to just look, where's my head? That's the true musik of the Pshitas. That's the ultimate of the Pshitas. That the idea is not a devar neisach on your mitzias. And it's not how you know it. It's kenner zayin anders. The fact that there's certain things that you could forget, or you have to think twice, is it here or not? Let's see, you can explain it. A sibur comes before a sibur. He has to think. This is a cause or an effect. Oh, that has to come before. The fact you have to think about it, it means that the idea is not. It's not a midas in the midah. The midah in the pshitas means as kenner zayin be'fanach. The mitzvah is the way it is. There is no possibility otherwise, and you can't even begin to entertain the idea otherwise. There's no option otherwise. Sibba coming for him is subib. There's no option otherwise. But it's we can track them again. We can claim again. You have to think to yourself. This is a cause. There's an effect. An effect. If this came from it, it has to come before. There's something you have to process the information. If you have to process the information, it means it's an idea that's it's not ultimate to the Pshittas. Ultimate to the Pshittas means as they can't go to Shtrach and Befanach. There's no reality outside of this thing. It's the ultimate to the Pshittas. Lifnei Simpsons or Kuz Pshittas and Tzis B'Schachos. All these are flaws. What does it mean Kuz Pshittas? What does it mean that Tzis is a Chiddush? And what does it mean that Kuz is Pshittas? But the part of Pshittas, the way the Rebbe's view, the Musik of Pshittas is that there is no es can't go to Zayin Befanach. Shaykh is cleansing in the Bechal. It's not Shaykh to process it. This is what it is. There's no other way. If someone sees that it's there, you're not going to see. You don't have to register that it's there. If you walk outside, you don't have to register it. It's there. It's the reality that you're living. You don't have to register it. Something that you have to register is not considered the Pshittas Legam. So the Rebbe saying of here is that La'as's love is going to be a yes, Lukus with the Pshittas. Punkt as even if not Simtzum. There was no mustik outside of Lukus, and even you didn't have to register as in the Valley. There's no, and in a very deep way that this is the end. There's a lot of the fact that Nibir is going to see Lukus. You don't have to register. The Nibir created the world. This is the only reality that's going to exist. That's the Mitzvah Nibir. The same way you wake up in the morning, you know that your head is on top of your. This is going to be the etzem Mitzvah Nibir, not B'derech Yisafa. The same way a person cannot forget where his nose is, it's because that's part and parcel of who you are. If you exist, that's there. It's part of you. Al derech zel asis lavi, it's going to be the etzem mitzvah hanivra. The fact that it's in Yoni Zolukus. The fact that it's going to be a derech today, that's the etzem mitzvah hanivra. It's not b'derech yisafa. That's going to be his etzem mitzvah, not b'derech yisafa, not b'derech register. So for this word is negate to sagen that it's the fact that it's going to be Gilui Elokus in the world, it's not going to be mitzad epis hamatzav shenis chadish. Or doesn't decide. There's a master here that if the fact that Nivra is going to be mitzad Inyani is going to be mitzad amitis amtzias of the yesh, it's truth. Amitis amtzias, so there's mitzias the way it's nideh b'chitzenis. There's mitzias the way it's v'derech ma, the way we experience it today, the external appearance of the union. Kuk's tifer mitzad amitis amtzias is batal telakus. Mitzad amitis amtzias. So then that's always v'derech. It's not v'derech pshitas b'tachlis. Pshitas b'tachlis is that this is what the thing is. Adasidas. It's not shaykhs leifanav. So, but this word is negate to say that there is no aspect in the nivra that Inyan is not to be there b'tachtayim. Not mitzad al-emek, mitzad chitzenius mamish, nicht mitzad al-pnimius, the farai koken tifer. The mitzvah is the way you experience it b'chitzenius mona, v'agoy zed the welt kavil. The nivra, the way the vis kukteis mitzad v'inayim chitzenius legamri. That Inyan and the tchunis of that nivra is machayv Gilui Elokus. That's so the does negate the word that Hashem said the fact that the nivra, the way it is b'chitzenius mamish, the way we experience it, what's its amitis amtzias, should be Gilui Elokus in the world.
Mashiach comes, we're not just going to be living with our amitis amtzias. If we're living
much
with
more.
them.
That's going to be the basic. It's going to be the ultimate. It's kind of design on this. If it's going to be your emet. What I'm saying is, we lived many years without knowing this neighbor, right? Without our mitzvahs being chad with the Eibishter. I don't mean with that.
You feel the chiddush afterwards?
It's not going to be a chiddush. That's the mitzvahs.
You're not going to remember it.
There's not going to be an idea, by the way. This is the mitzvahs. This is what it is. This is the truth today, but there's not. It's not finished garlic burn the meaning because there's a cause that should be helen, but this helen is mishulagin. I'm saying this all the meaning. This is a very stark azach. This word that they're seeking to get to this part that it's going to be made. So it's not. It's that's going to be that's the. First of all, if you can remember, the idea is it's going to be part and parcel of who you are. We're going to see that the mitzvahs, the way we experience it, the whole mitzvahs was to bring to the kavanah. The way the Rebbe says here. Let's say, if you mentioned on the topic, there was a nature in the world that it's easier to put your foot into hot water than your head. He's thinking about the nature of the world. Also, we're going to see that every aspect that's in the world, the other tchunas the faran, are all in yanim for the sake of the Rebbe. How didn't we see it before? It's as if you were blind, you didn't see what was going on. That's the thing. I can remember exactly. Someone asked the Rebbe if there's all these issues with Torah Mada, different questions. I guess it was a big thing. So someone asked the Rebbe if there's answers in Torah for all the questions that Mada has. All the questions of science of Torah has all the answers. There's not only there's answers to all the questions, but every kasha is really a raya. From the other kasha is, I don't know the exact lesson, but every kasha can bring a raya to what Torah is saying. If the Eibush created the world, it's not the pshat that the world is a stirra because it's for infinite kashas. If the world came from him, how can it be? It's just like a stirra. He didn't create things that aren't masim to the kavanah. Also, it's develops for its zechepes. Unless there's going to be a radical change, we're going to see that everything that was happening till now was all for the sake of this change. And it's not mitzad psat emek, mitzad amitis amtzias. But that's bizarre. I'm seeing the Rebbe is bringing one. What is it saying? Is this the only in which spiegels chaf? Is the only in which spiegels chaf? The Asach in which spiegels chaf. There is a dogma of one in the Musik of Helen being Gilui. But that's a general verse. It's there a stark about this Haggasha. I'm saying it's also usually I'm saying the other Inyan is echt negeh. The other Inyan is negeh for the Inyan. I'm saying it's not. But this connection to Inyan is a very strong. Gives a very strong cook on the whole thing. Usually the word is there's mitzvahs, the way this bechzelis is a sheker, and it's heipechalokus, there's a primis, there's a mitzvah mitzvahs. The Rebbe is saying here, not only is a mitzvah mitzvahs, and the mitzvahs, the way it is bechzelis, reflects the mitzvah primis. That's nicht gepasht the zach, that's a whole different, a ganz another zach, because the kavanah saf basaf is that the fact is that the kush should be a pasht the zach, b'derech pshit, it's not b'derech chidush, and b'derech chippus, that's a double pasht. This is the nature, the teva is that Helmut brings you.
In the valley is just three diets. There's the amitis mitzias, there's the chitzinias, and together is to bring you.
There's bleak volvatachlis. You have all unlimited ways of expressing it in the valley, and they're all expressed in Elam Hazah also. But this point I would say a lot of times that Gosh is, you find it's a pnimis and a oimik. They were saying that the world, the way it is today, the way we experience it, that world reflects the Kabbalah. Nicht das zweite Welt. The Welt is wahrscheinlich more in height reflects the Kabbalah. Reflects the some things of this. Okay, that's not a shayla. It's not a shayla. Once it's going to be the Gilui. Once the Helms can become a keli to Gilui, so with the very next Tachlan. Together, Tachlan is the Alter says that it's not Margish Lukus. Okay, that's a general shayla. But the Rebbe is the signals you should know this. You should know this. I'm saying. But that's a chilik lechach, no? That's what Adain Tzarechim. From the bewusst no? Okay, with this common problem. What I just wanted to say is that in order 31,
things in the world, that their nature is that the Helms, that's in water or whatever, they feel.
What do they have to feel? That's the nature. But what do they have to feel?
It's not their nature. They don't. We're saying that it's not the Eilam the way it is.
What I'm saying, you're telling me is that the image created the world. First of all, the purpose is that's the purpose, and if that's the purpose, that's its true reality. That's its true reality. That's one word. That's its true reality. That's that's the premise of this. The nature of the world is that it's chitzeni. It says ma'alam premise. That's the Gedder Eilam. But the teva for him is that if you have a mitzvah and he has a primis and he has a chitzenis, the teva of the chilek chitzeni hamaylev is to bring out the primis. That's the teva of the world. There's the regal comes from the primis of Adam is nefesh. The rotz not nefesh. The regal, there's the mayach. The mayach has a deeper shaykhs to the nefesh. The regal is much more distant from the nefesh. And the teva for him is that dafke, that eva which is more belichut man nefesh, in yoni is to be more dovek to the rotz not nefesh. That's the nature of the world. So, or you're saying, but get to mind. What's going to bring out the ultimate chulas hamayim? That the stimma brings out the take of hamayim. So that's a natural phenomenon. So that brings out that the fact, the fact the world's behelam v'hester, the chnish does it. The fact the world's behelam v'hester, that the mitzvahs, that shows you that reflects its truth. I'm saying the Rebbe's master here. You have in Sichos, you have many biurim in this sense. And this is one that the Rebbe speaks of from even this.
How does the Yeshus of God reflect this truth? The Chitzenius
the Chitzenius of Yeshus is the fact that it's the Hell of the Est. Hell is Machayv Gilui.
There's no such thing as hell without Gilui. That's its whole Gilui.
Sure. But that's its whole Gilui even before this. Even before this part. The very fact that it's Tachlis Shulak Gilui. So the Hell is Amitas Hell is Gilui. That's just the Rebbe think that's so atzvete part. The fact that but it's the Helen, the fact that it's established. The gather of Welt is to hide its own truth. We established already that's the truth of the Nibur. We established already. But the gather of Elam is that his chitzeni shouldn't reflect his primis. And there's not if a chitzeni doesn't reflect the primis, so the gather of Elam is to be connected more to his primis. That's what we're saying. The answer is that
Gilui means Chitzenius is Megal, the primis is the same thing.
I'm using these words, but that dafke the dover which is a rachi from the nefesh is more connected to the nefesh. You know the you'll see you should learn the second answer. Ich gemeint will lernen the second you and I got some ice. I came, I thought this is the way it is always.
We just started.
You learned this whole week. You learned this whole week.
I started.
I'll be after the next one.
It's simple, man. It was introduction share was supposed to be
introduction share. This was the introduction share. I just wanted to, I don't know who made the kuntres, but I'm saying not all the modern and sikhs here are going in the same line. I don't know what's the sugi, but I'm saying it's not Fashidin Inyan in the Klatesh. Okay, so you learn the Ara 31. But he never did the